everyone, and welcome back to another updated RuneScape 3 quest guide. Today, we have Desperate Measures. This is an experienced, very long, intermediate members quest, and the skill requirements are 50 Archaeology and 50 Agility. The required items for this quest are 100 Orthen Glass, which can be attained during the quest, or pulled directly from your material storage container. The measure, which is obtained during the quest if you don't have it in your bank or your inventory. And the recommended items for this quest are Archaeology Journal for the teleport, the Heart Teleport or Desert Amulet 2, and Grace of the Elves Ranch Out of Time Teleport. Recommended skill for this quest is 95 plus combat. To start this quest, talk to Saren upstairs in Berthorpe Castle. She will tell you to go to Anachronia Base Camp to speak to Mr. Mordout. Speak to Mr. Mordout, and he will tell you that Cheros and Thok are north of the camp. Run north of Anachronia Base Camp and down the 2 flights of stairs to the Dragonkin Gate. Do not begin the agility course. Talk to Thok and play through his saga-killing dinosaurs and walk down the path towards the Anachronia Base Camp. Then, talk to Linnakea and walk into the base camp. Once finished, talk to Cheros. Excavate at the spot south of Cheros and Thok to obtain the Dragonkin device damaged. Repair this at an archaeologist's workbench with 50 Orthen Glass to obtain the Dragonkin device and bring it back to Cheros. After showing Cheros the Dragonkin device, another spot will appear north of him. Excavate this spot to obtain the Dragonkin tablet damaged. Repair this at an archaeologist's workbench using 50 Orthen Glass to obtain a Dragonkin tablet and bring it back to Cheros. Next, you need to show these 2 devices to Hannibus, who is next to prehistoric Potterington on her ranch on Anachronia. To get there quickly, go to the top floor of the manor farm in Ardoin and teleport using the mystical tree, or use your Grace of the Elves Ranch Out of Time teleport. Hannibus will translate the tablet and tell you to meet him in the ruins southeast of Anachronia. See the picture above. Once you have arrived, Hannibus will inform you that the ruins are home to another type of dragonkin, the Nodon, as opposed to the Dactyl, who wished to rid themselves of the curse bonding them to the Stone of Jas, and the Nerocytes, who went insane and attacked false users, and the Nodon believed that they could sleep through the curse. While inside, he will mention some of the Nodon are dreaming, but it is a shared dream, and he is able to transport you into their dream. Once Hannibus puts you into the dream, 2 Nodon caretakers will appear. If you speak to Hannibus, he will tell you to follow the first dragonkin who leaves the room and goes to the door on the north side of the ruins and accesses the lower chamber with the phrase, Hypenkarion. Return to Hannibus and re-enter the dream, and watch the second Dragonkin enter a code on the pylon in the southeast corner of the room. Inspect the pylon after the Dragonkin disappears, and your character will remember the correct symbol when you enter it. You may also watch the Dragonkin inside first and follow the other one outside if you desire. The order does not matter. After exiting the dream, cycle all 3 symbols individually until your character says that it looks correct. Then speak to Hannibus. You will be able to enter the lower chamber on the north side with the correct phrase. Once inside, talk to Hannibus and enter the next dream. The Kendra Council memory. Run up the path to the east and talk to Hannibus to start it. The Kendra Council meeting will start and the 4 factions speaking, the Dactyl, Sirates, Nodon, and Agra, until the council dissolves. The Dactyl, Sirates, and Agra will disappear. The 2 Nodon will not disappear, and then they will take note of you and Hannibus, believing that Carapac sent the 2 of you into the dream. After telling them that Carapac is attempting to destroy Gielinor, they will share a vision of the 2 of you, showing that Carapac's shadow anima experiments have displeased the elder gods and led them to binding the Dragonkin to the Stone of Jas in retribution. You and Hannibus will soon return to the real world, with Charos and Thok greeting you. Carapac will appear soon after. Realizing what you are up to, Hannibus attempts to plead with him, but Charos and Thok will attack Carapac, although he will not take any damage. After a while, Carapac will explain that because of his control over the needle, he can manipulate all attacks inflicted towards him to deal nothing. Although he states that he could easily kill you all, he decides not to out of pity, and advises you to spend your final moments wisely. Hannibus will suggest an evacuation through the World Gate, but Charos states that they would not get everyone out in time. Go to Berthorpe and speak to Saren to inform her of Carapac's agenda. You will then inform the council that Carapac has made himself invulnerable, but Saren suggests to speak to Primrose, as she was the Needle's former guardian. Go to Primrose in her house, west of the Piscatorius fishing colony. She will reveal that the Needle seems to have a mind of its own, and that it has power over its guardians, not the other way around, and exhaust all chat options. Your quest log should update to go speak to Saren. Upon returning to Saren, she will suggest appealing to its creator, Jas, to use that property to stop Carapac. She will tell you to meet her outside of the Heart, where she will request an audience with her. Meet Saren at the entrance to the Heart, using your Heart Teleport or Desert Amulet 2. She reveals that Jas has accepted her request and will send you to talk with her. Go through all of the dialogue options with Jas, picking only options that are neutral or positive. Jas will explain that her sisters already know of Carapac's plot, but cannot intervene directly because of Carapac's shadow anima device that is a toxic barrier to them. She points out that she and the others cannot stop Carapac, but doing so would completely destroy the island and nearby settlements. Seeing that you are willing to help, she will give you the Eye of Jas to stop Carapac and advises you to hurry before she and the others are forced to act. Choosing 3 negative dialogue options will cause Jas to state that she has reached her verdict and that all mortal life will end. You will then be teleported back to Saren, and a dialogue box will open stating that you remember an alternative universe which Jas tears apart your body. If this happens, speak to Saren to retry your conversation with Jas and continue the quest. Return back to Anachronia and speak to Charos, who is now by the lodestone. He will explain that Carapac has flown into the volcano, and that he is controlling the dinosaurs on the island to attack the base camp. Carapac will soon arrive, clearly disappointed by your action. He has put the dinosaurs on a frenzy, and is sending them to raise the base camp, allowing them to evacuate the camp early. Most of the inhabitants have been evacuated, but the archaeologists were still busy evacuating and now must be defended. Talk to Thok, with both of your hands empty, and he will provide you with his stick. You will have to defend the Anachronia base camp from 5 waves of dinosaurs by positioning your allies to defend the archaeologists from the dinosaurs. Each ally has a different ability, and can be told to either target strong dinosaurs, weak dinosaurs, enemies furthest away from them, or enemies closest to them. While preparing, Lanakea will come down to the lodestone and act as an ally in the fight. Fox attacks deal heavy damage. Hannibus can stop oncoming dinosaurs with his mind control. Charos will use fire spells, and Lanakea will use her spear in melee range and throw vials of potion at enemies out of melee range. As you are holding Thok's stick, you will automatically attack nearby dinosaurs. An easy way to win is to set Charos to closest, Lanakea to furthest, Thok to strongest, and Hannibus to weakest. Keep them in their default positions and stand 2 squares west of Charos. You can win without moving. Warning: if any wave is failed, the entire run must be redone again. If you lose 2 times, talking to Thok will give you an option to start an easier mode, where all of you and your allies' attacks deal extra damage. Next, speak to Charos. Then, speak to him again where he was at the beginning of the quest, northwest, northern start of the agility course. He will instruct you to investigate the cosmic power surrounding the radio. He will give you the measure to assist in this task if you don't already have it, revealing that he borrowed it. You will have to find him 4 times in the ruins surrounding the volcano and use the measure nearby him each time to progress. If he does not react when you place the measure, log out or hop world and replace the measure. The locations of Charos and where you have to place the measure is given in the image above. The order that you visit the last 3 locations does not matter. The first location is through the archway immediately north of where you normally speak to Charos. For the second location, run to the start of the agility course and follow it north until you pass through the cave, where you can walk north to Charos in a clearing. The third location requires you to run west of the lodestone, then head northwest past the Arcana Pterosaur till you reach the Dragonkin ruins. The next location is directly east of the previous location, up a flight of stairs. The last location is back where you first met Charos and Thalok. It will just be Thalok and Hannibus there, but Charos is slightly further north. Place the final measure there. Please note, on some occurrences, placing the measure will not trigger the chat. If this happens, replacing the measure, relogging, or hopping worlds should trigger the chat message. Return to where you first met Charos and Thok, where an entrance has appeared. As it is powered by shadow anima, you are the only one who can enter, as the others would be ripped to shreds if they tried to go through it. Charos notes that Guthix's blessing that turned your character into the World Guardian essentially grafted shadow anima into your very soul, making you powerful and helping you resist forces that regular mortals could not. He notes that you should not exist, but you do. The lab's security is controlled by 4 pylons. Each quadrant of the lab is given a name in Karapak's tablet, which can be found on a lectern in the southwest room. Each quadrant of the lab also corresponds to an elder god's name that unlocks the pylon. Symbols on the walls of each room tell you which room you are in, and you can figure out which one you are in by looking at how many characters are in the name, and whether the first and last letter are the same or different. The solutions to unlock the pylons are given in the image above. They are the same for all players. After all 4 pylons have been deactivated, a cutscene will play and you can enter the room in the northern part of the lab, where Karapak has a black stone dragon for security. It is a level 91 and possesses 180,000 health. The dragon's attacks are the same as the one encountered in the Dragonkin laboratory, but it is nowhere as strong, nor does it summon black hands. Take your best combat equipment and food. When the Blackstone Dragon reaches 140,000 hit points and 100,000 hit points health, the dragon will land on the center of the arena and generate a flame spiral, with all incoming damage being greatly reduced. As with the original encounter, dragon fire protection is unnecessary. After defeating the Blackstone Dragon, Carapac will appear, frustrated by your resistance, and claiming that he is just trying to save all of the worlds at a cost of only one. As you cannot convince him, you will use the Eye of Jas to allow Jas to intervene, claiming control of the needle and of Carapac and his hibernating Nodon. Carapac begs to be killed, but Jas denies him. Carapac encourages you to leave the laboratory as it begins to collapse. The player has 2 minutes to escape the laboratory. Run into the eastern area where 3 large rocks will collapse and entrap the player. Fortunately, the death of the Blackstone Dragon has allowed your allies to enter. Charleston Thok will help you escape the laboratory by destroying fallen rock piles, while Hannibus guides you to a side area. Rocks repeatedly falling in front of you will impede your movement, so do not expect to move far. Click as closest to your character to move more consistently. Once you leave the laboratory, a cutscene will play, where Full emerges from the volcano, destroying Anachronia's volcano along with Carapac's laboratory. Speak to either 3 to continue the quest. Charles will then tell you to inform Saren that Carapac has been stopped. Return to Saren in Berthorpe. You may inform her that Guthix has imbued you with dangerous shadow anima, or keep it silent. If informed, she will reassure you that if something happens, she and the others will be prepared. For now, she advises the player to celebrate their victory. The rewards for this quest are 3 quest points, 20,000 archaeology experience, 20,000 combat experience, cosmic focus, Thok's Stick Cosmetic Override, Remote Totem Base, the ability to complete the Desperate for Artifacts Archaeology Collection, and 2 Treasure Hunter Keys and 2 Hearts of Ice. Players can upgrade their Cosmic Focus to the Cosmic Accumulator, which will provide 20% Sprite Focus instead of 10% by completing the Desperate for Artifacts Collection. To complete this, take all of your archaeology gear and your best Mattock and at least 200 magic notepaper or Sign of Porter charges, and navigate to the Dragonkin ruins northeast of the Anachronia Lodestone. Discover and excavate the 2 hotspots and obtain the Ceremonial Dragonkin device damaged and the Ceremonial Dragonkin tablet damaged artifacts. Repair these at an archaeologist's workbench to obtain the Ceremonial Dragonkin device and the Ceremonial Dragonkin tablet, and then head to Anachronia and hand in the stored artifacts to Gillies at the home camp, and you will obtain the Cosmic Pyramid as a one-time reward. Combine the Cosmic Pyramid with the Cosmic Focus to create the Cosmic Accumulator. You'll need to carry the Cosmic Accumulator in your inventory during excavation for its effects to work. That's it for today's quest video. Stay tuned for another, and don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. We'll see you then!